Hi there, today we are going to make a double pendant. This pendant is made with three 20 gauge wires that are around 12 to 16 inches long, depends on the size of the stone, one 10-inch 22 gauge wire, one 4-inch 22 gauge wire, and then the basket wiring, I used 18 inches of 22 gauge, or you could use 16 inches of 20 gauge for the basket. Pick up your three 20 gauge wires and find the ends and make them even, and then find the middle spot. You're going to wrap the 22 gauge 10-inch wire, 4-inch wire around the middle spot to make the stage of the pendant. See how we leave a gap and then there is a little loop? That's what your other pendant is going to hook onto. You scrunch the wires together at the end, and then you have your pendant started. Wrap the wire around the rock and then bring the wires together at the top, and you may have to go around a corner or two to fit the shape of the stone. Then take the wire off and take your 10 inches of 22 gauge wire and leave space at the end on both ends and wrap around the beginning of the bail close to the stone, starting away from the stone, going towards the stone. Then take your stone and place it on top of the wire and position it and stick it inside and split the wires. Two go in back, two on either side, and two in the front. And you can squish them down and they will move for you. If there's too many gaps, you can arrange them. Be sure to leave extra wire because you're going to wrap that around the bail where the necklace slips through, as you'll see. Next, you're going to take your wires that are left over at the top and split them up. You need 3 for the bail and 3 for decorating. Bend the wires around your finger and then push it in towards the stem of the bail. Okay, now start wrapping your extra wire around the bail to secure it. Being careful to tuck the end in so you don't have any pokey parts. Now you're going to take the extra wire that's in the back from the bail and wrap it around the stone too, doing the same thing with the end of the wire up underneath the bail, in between the bail and the stone. Tuck it in. Okay, now we're going to decide what to do with the extra wires at the top, and I'm going to show you some examples. We're going to make a sloppy rose at the top, and you do that by winding around the round nose pliers in a sloppy manner, kind of alternating on either side of the wire as you do it. Next, we're going to do a pinwheel, and you're going to bend the wire slightly with your pliers, and then you'll take your plastic pliers or your painter's taped pliers so it doesn't scratch the wire, and you will start rotating on that spot that you bent to make a pinwheel. You'll do this with the other side as well. And you can position them however you like on the stone once you have them made. Now we're going to work with our other stone, the one that dangles, and it's going to be a basket or cage wire wrapping. You're going to use 18 inches of 22 gauge or 16 inches of 20 gauge. And you're going to find the ends and then find the middle and then cross the wires to make your bail, the start of your bail. Position it on top of the stone and then wrap the two ends around the stone and then twist at the bottom. That was the tricky part. Now take your finger and try to flatten down the end. And then take your wire and go up the stone and loop it around the bail to secure it. And then you're going to take the other wire and wrap it around and loop it around the bail. Then continue on and wrap the wire around the rock with the extra wire that you have. When you get to the point where you're going down towards the bottom, you may choose to sew the wire across the bottom part of the stone. It helps secure the wire better. Okay, now with the extra wire, you're going to start at the top of the bail and wind it around and tuck it in under. And please excuse my cat. Of course, cats like to sit right where you're working. But it was a black background, so it worked. So tuck the wire in underneath the bail, in between the stone and the bail, so you don't have any pokey parts. Then make sure that the bail of the basket wire wrap meets the bail of the heart wire wrap in the same direction. And then you're going to load it up onto a jump ring that you're going to make. You're going to start with a small piece of wire, use your round nose pliers, and make a jump ring. And once you have it made, trim it, and then you separate the wires and attach it to the big pendant, and then attach the basket wire wrap to it. It's tricky, and getting it to line up right so that it faces the correct way is a challenge for me. Maybe it won't be for you. And there we have our pendant. A double pendant with a caged stone dangling.